Guys, अभी तो थोड़ा. If I have a sex slave who I don't do perverted things with, I call her Janu and I kiss her on the cheeks every night, she's still a slave, right? We tell you on side opposition here that the idea of slavery, that the idea of normative rights is not something that is based only on consequences, something that they have been trying to run with, right? We tell you that the idea of slavery and the idea of enslaving someone, the idea of torture is a normative idea that comes up when you are disallowing particular choices to people with respect to how they want to lead their lives, or you are disallowing people the kind of planning of life that they want to do with respect to whether the anxiety that they will have if they might die, they may not die, they may not even want to take the choice. You are forcing them to make that particular choice. Similarly, in this particular case, just because sending these people will not necessarily kill them or sending these people will bring you benefits does not mean that this is not akin to slavery, because the ideas of torture and slavery are not based on consequences, right? This debate, and this is the kind of example that this debate is based on. This debate isn't based on a random person who has stolen and whether he should be given rights. This debate is based on why Ajmal Kasab was given a trial, why Ajmal Kasab wasn't killed off in the middle of the street, right? When they come ahead and tell you that it is okay for us to go ahead and kill someone because of greater benefits for everyone, we tell you no, right? And this is when Piyush tells you that, oh no, everything has to come up in op-whip, because he did not listen to when I was talking about why normative rights are important in my speech, right? And this is when I tell you that normative rights are important because, and this is DLO matter, they didn't ever rebut it at all. Actually, I'm sure will come up and rebut it, but this is the problem, right? When you go ahead and uphold normative rights, you are likelier as a society to uphold those rights because you value those rights in themselves. And this is where the example of Binil comes, right? Yeah, and this is, I'm going to repeat it just for clarity, because if I think killing someone is bad in general, I am less likely to kill human beings. But if I think that killing is good or bad only with respect to consequences, and I see Binil in a dark alley and I can kill him, I am likelier to go ahead and kill Binil in that particular situation, right? Then this is exactly the idea as to the likelihood of when you are going ahead and using normative values, when as a society you believe that an idea is good, stealing is bad, killing someone is bad, raping a woman or a man is bad. These are the things that you have to be taught, and these, when you are taught these ideals versus saying you need to make a cost-benefit analysis in every situation, that is when we have a civilized and a moral society. That is the kind of society we espouse. They have at no given point in time gone ahead and clashed with the heart of the case of the opposition, and they have not even qualified why the kind of society that they are propagating is indeed the kind of society that they want, right? The kind of society that they want is a society where you will lynch Ajmal Kasab, where you will lynch all these terrorists the moment they are caught, right? But the reason they are is because there is this respect for rights, there is this respect against torture that you have, right? And what does Piyush come here and tell you? And this is where this debate lies. This debate isn't This debate isn't about whether morality is fluid or not. This debate is about whether you want to make morality in this particular case so fluid, where you are so easily and readily, and you are so easy and ready to go ahead and not just deny these people their rights, but at the same time you also want to enslave them, you want to use whatever their work is in order to further human society, right? And this is where this debate lies. This debate is not a question as to whether a person, this is the problem, right? When Arshia and Piyush very intuitively give you ideas of, people gang raping people or people killing other people, these are exactly the kind of people whose rights you need to go ahead and protect, because protection of rights are necessary for everyone. They have not given you why these people do not deserve rights, as opposed to when we tell you normative rights are good. In absence of the qualification and fulfillment of the burden from side proposition, because of the fact that Arshia has to come up and give rebuttals to everything that came up in our speech, because Piyush did not really do that. And thirdly, because we believe that they did not clash with the heart of our case, we believe we stand.
Why we stand to win this debate, right? Three ways through which side opposition tried to show you that it's problematic to go ahead with this move, right? Firstly, on the idea that this is torture and slavery, right? Understand, when they come up and tell you that only argument for torture is the fact that, oh, this person's going to be anxious of what is going to happen, 65% death sentence. We believe that's a ridiculous sort of argument to make in the first place, right? Because understand, the fact that you're on death row, you don't know if you're going to die or not, that's also anxiety, right? We believe the fact that you're going to Mars and you know for a fact you'll stay there and explore things and shit will be a new adventure for you. You'll have more of a finality, and hence that like torture, which is basically anxiety according to them, is something that does not stand, right? Have we told you the kind of action that we are going to make them do is something that's going to go ahead and necessarily like physically pain them or anything of that sort? No, we have not, right? We told you we have no analysis from this side as to how this qualifies for torture, how this qualifies for slavery, considering the same amount of harm, or actually probably much more than that, is something that they suffer within those prison cells when they can't step out within those four walls, when they don't know what's happening outside the world, when all they can do is wait for their death. Secondly, understand, when they come and talk to you about the choice of the individual, right? This is what's problematic, right? Because they never tell you why choice is necessarily something that needs to be upheld for everyone, up until like Op reply when he does a little bit of it, but we don't believe that's justified, right? Never have they told you why choices in absolute need to be valued for every individual, considering the context that it's applied to. When we told you about how this is not just any individual, this is a death row convict. The fact being that the reason he is in this position is because of his own actions, right? Understand, when we talk to you about morality and things like choices given based on the fact that you've earned them because you're a part of that larger morality, right? The fact being, the moment you step out of this boundary, we don't see why you deserve that right in the very first place, right? Because you chose to step out of this boundary of morality, which is why you are not going ahead and deriving the benefits of this larger choice which we accept for the rest of our citizens, right? That's just a price you have to pay for going against this sort of larger morality that we as a society have upheld. That's something that you have gone against, and we believe you need to suffer for it, right? Secondly, on the fact that choices, we believe, are compromised regularly at every point in time by us when we go ahead and look at utility for the rest of the society, right? Understand, we spoke to you about how, say for example, when you need to go ahead and construct the metro, you go ahead and break down houses for constructing the metro, right? Because you believe there's a utility coming out of it. It's the same idea. The fact being that right now, we believe the benefit is much larger, and understand that's a benefit they have not tackled, right, throughout their case. Up until like when Dhaka comes up and says, even if there is a benefit, like we don't care. The fact being, they've more or less accepted the benefit that's coming out to the rest of the society, something we've spoken right from our first speech, when we believe a need is one that exists currently, when we need to explore alternate resources, a need which exists when we need to go ahead and not stagnate science in terms of the research that we do, right? They needed to tell us why that sort of a stagnation is a cost that we need to bear as the rest of society for the crimes committed by a few, right? And this is what the debate is about. We believe if they had to win this debate, they had to tell us an alternate scenario where we can achieve those needs that we are talking about, considering they've accepted the need that exists, right? We believe, considering right now other people don't want to go, they had to tell us about who would go in that scenario. The fact being that these convicts are in the best position to go simply because they earned it, right? Thirdly, when they come up and talk to you about how moralities are based, the new civilization will be based on this sort of a morality, again, we clashed when we told you that the kind of civilization that you're creating is basically in your own hands, right? In the hands of the state which is sending these people out. So the narrative that you create around it is one that you are basically monopolizing, so you're creating it, right? We believe that when you go ahead and create a colony, you are in a position of power when you can go ahead and create a narrative of who these people are. We believe we'll call them martyrs. We believe that's a kind of idea that we'll propagate because we don't see what's wrong with these people, right? And understand, at the end of the day, we believe that the benefit is one that still rests on our side, because that's something they've not tackled in this debate. The fact being that the rest of society is benefiting out of this move. Why is it that we need to let go of that, considering all their arguments of morality, choice and all of that do not refer to death row convicts, and that's not what the debate is about, right? They needed to argue about why specifically to death row convicts, because understand, the moment you give them the sentence, the moment you go ahead and lock them up, you are accepting that they've done something that deserves a harsh